Hello, I'm Simon from CareCo and I'm going to show you how to assemble the Quattro Rise and Recliner chair. As you can see, I've taken all of the components out from the packaging and I've placed that to one side. We have the main Quattro body, we have its backrest, the wings that attach to the backrest, some casters and a transformer for the power to power the Quattro. It's worth noting that the handset for the Quattro will be located within the side pocket. Let's take a look at how to assemble all of the components to make the Quattro go together. Although I'm going to assemble the Quattro by myself, you may wish to ask a relative or a friend to help you due to the weight and manhandling of the item. I'm also going to fit some caster wheels, but these may be dependent on the type of flooring that you have around your home. If you have a carpet or a wooden floor, it affects the way in which caster wheels work, and you may find when fitted that the chair moves too easily. The choice is up to you. As you can see, in order for me to fit the caster wheels, I've placed the chair on its side. Again, in your home, it may be worthwhile putting down a rug or some protection on the floor. The caster wheels fit into the four corners of the chair. At the rear, there are two brackets, and I'm going to start with those. The casters that are fitted to the back have brakes attached to them. These are identified on the caster wheel by this little section here sticking out. That is indeed a brake, which can be clicked on or clicked off. When the brake is on, that prevents the caster wheel from moving when the chair is in use. In order to fit the caster wheels, you're going to require the help of a 13mm spanner. Initially, we can place the caster wheels on and tighten them up by hand, but by using a 13mm spanner, that will ensure that they're nice and tight and won't come loose. Fitting the caster wheels is as simple as placing them through the brackets and placing the nut on top. Once hand tight, we can take our spanner and just nip them up to secure them. We can now repeat this on the other three casters remaining, ensuring to fit the braked caster to the rear first. On the front casters, it's worth noting on the frame that there are two holes. Ideally, the caster should be fitted to the outer edge of the framework. Whether you've fitted the casters or not, the next sections are relevant to all users. We start by fitting the backrest to the chair. In order to do this, we need to first of all just lift this piece of material which attaches via Velcro to the seat back. We just place it in front as so. As you can see, I've now placed the backrest on top of the chair base. The back of the chair is facing upwards, with the backrest where you would lean facing down. This is where a friend or relative would come in handy, just to help you take the weight of the backrest as you're locating it into the framework. Within the inner part section of the backrest, there are two metal brackets, as you can see. They locate onto the framework at the bottom here, and the item clicks into position. Let's show you how that works. So I'm going to lift the backrest and I'm aligning it with the framework at the back. Once in position, I slowly rotate it towards me and I check that both of the brackets are within the framework. And from this position, I then just apply pressure on the back and it will click into position. With the backrest fitted, we can now fit the side wings to it. As you can see, they're held in position with a bracket and simply slot into position. To fit into position, we align the brackets on the wings to the bracket on the backrest. Once in position, you just apply pressure and it will push it all the way down. And we repeat this with the other side. Once in position, apply pressure and it clicks into position as so. At the rear of the Quattro, we have two cables that we need to connect. These connect the extra motors for the headrest and the lumbar support to the power supply within the chair. As mentioned, there are two cables to connect. Each one is clearly identified so you get them in the correct position. We clip the cables together and secure with the locking section. Same with the other connector. It's locked together and click into position. We can now fold over the material which will cover the electrics at the back of the chair. This is simply retained in position with Velcro, and we just ensure that it aligns correctly and is secured at the base, again with Velcro. To power the chair, we need to connect the transformer. This consists of two parts, the mains plug lead and the transformer itself. Simply connect these two parts together, and then when we connect the transformer to the chair, we can plug this into the wall socket. It's worth noting that this transformer does have a battery backup. Although it doesn't come supplied with the batteries required, you can purchase these separately, and it's two 9-volt batteries which are inserted within the cover here. The battery backup is useful if you suffer from power cuts in your area and will enable the chair to get you up and out over a couple of durations in case there is a power cut. At the rear of the Quattro, you will find the connecting cable. Simply pull this out from underneath the chair and connect it into the transformer. It only goes in one way, and when connected has a securing lock on the top. This prevents it coming out when you're moving the chair to hover around the floor. We can now connect the chair to the power and test that the chair works correctly. You may find when you connect the power that the handset is illuminated. However, if it isn't and there is a red illuminated power button, press and hold this for a couple of seconds and you'll notice the handset illuminate. The chair is now ready to be used. However, we need to do some simple checks to ensure that the wiring doesn't catch on the framework. We also have to attach the piece of material we moved at the beginning to the underside of the backrest. In order to do this, I'm just going to recline the backrest backwards, and we perform this action by pressing the back button on the controller. As you can see, the backrest starts to move. At any time, if I wish to stop it, I can release from the button. Pressing again, I'm going to recline it all the way backwards so I can connect the material using the Velcro. To secure the piece of material to the backrest, simply fold it over and onto the flat section of the backrest itself. Run your hand along the Velcro and that will now be secure. We're now just going to check the other motors to ensure that they've been connected correctly. We're going to start by raising the leg rest. And as we can see, we can operate this via the up and down buttons or by using the dedicated buttons which are highlighted under the word leg rest. So the right button raises and the left button lowers. We can check the backrest away from us and towards us. And then finally, we've got the two connections that we did at the back for the headrest and the lumbar support. These are situated at the top of the handset, the top one being headrest, where the left button will raise the headrest or bring it towards us, and the right button will take it back. The next two buttons are for the lumbar support. The left button is bringing out the lumbar here, and then the right button is taking it back away from you. Once again, by pressing the home button, all the motors will return to their natural seated position. So the Quattro is now fully assembled and ready to be used.